Hey everyone, it's Foster 1984 again. It's been a while since I've done any videos, but I'm just going to jump straight into it. Today I'm doing a Let's Play of Battlefield 3, the open beta. I've got a lot to go through, and I've got some general comments to make at the end. So I'll jump straight into it with the positive things I do like about this the new Battlefield. The first one is the improved motion. As you can see from this bit here, I'm just hopping over things left, right and centre. In Battlefield Bad Company 2, you tended just to do a tiny little bunny hop. Wasn't very dramatic or dynamic. It got you where you needed to go, but this new vault animation is far more improved. The graphics seem to have had a fairly decent touch-up. Things like the lighting effects, and actually quite prominent there with that guy's torch in front of his gun. But the animation in general, such as when I was crawling, when you run, you reload, it's all been improved massively in my opinion. The only thing I think is a bit of a letdown is the grenade throw. As you saw from there, it has no real, I don't know what you'd call it. It has no real sort of drama to it. It's literally just sort of your hand comes back, you don't see your hand come forward. But this just little red dot seems to fly out in front of you. The gameplay in this, you will notice it cuts backwards and forwards between different things. That's because, as anyone who's played Battlefield will know, the games are in some cases absolutely mammoth. I had one before, I think it went over 30 minutes, which I'm also guessing is probably one of the reasons there's not a lot of Battlefield videos, or there is a lot of Battlefield videos on YouTube, but perhaps that's one of the reasons they're not as popular for views and so forth, because nobody really wants to sit through a full game, and sometimes if you do chop and change your clips, it's difficult to tell what's going on. So I do apologise about that, because these clips were from two separate games, one where I was defending and one where I was attacking, so you will notice that sort of jumps backwards and forwards between the two. So I do apologise for that. Now where was I? Oh yeah, the positive things. The other things that have changed is things like the new loadouts. So you used to have the assault class, the engineer, the medic, and the recon. They have now changed. You now have the assault, the engineer, the support, and the recon. Now the difference is now is that the assault in Battlefield Bad Company 2 used to be the one to give out the ammo. That's now been given to support, and the medic used to give the medicines and the revives. That's now been given to the assault class. The assault class now has the medical packs and the defibrillator to be able to revive people. So there has been a bit of a switch up on that. It's also far faster now in terms of motion. I've got a clip later on where I'm just aiming ridiculously. I'm just spraying around a dumpster for no reason. The reason being I actually had my sensitivity set too high. I had to change that for the second game. But it is much faster now, much more Call of Duty like, which was one criticism that a lot of people gave to Battlefield, was that it seemed a bit slower. Well, it's much faster now, much faster, which is a good thing. Now, the other thing I like is the fact that on the fly you can actually now change the attachments on your gun. Again, it's a returning feature from Battlefield. You could do it in Bad Company 2, but it just gives that edge over things like Call of Duty. Which although gives you the create a class system, you are stuck with the classes you create. So if you create an M16 with an ACOG sight, and you've got to give yourself a sniper rifle on another and a shotgun on another, once you actually get into the match proper, you're stuck with those choices. Whereas with these, I've got this ACOG sight on this one now, but later on would be a better example. I actually unlock a red dot sight for a AK-74. And I'm actually able to change that halfway through the match to give it to that gun, because the ACOG sight that I had on it wasn't doing me any good. The other thing I like about Battlefield is it gives you a much more immersive feeling. You feel much more like you're, I won't say in a war zone, nothing's ever going to make you feel like you're in a war zone, but you feel like there's much more going on around you. In Call of Duty you're very much in a small map, you don't really feel like you're progressing very far. Now, Battlefield's very clever in the way it does this. You're essentially in one big map, but it feels like you're in lots of small ones. So for instance, there's the outdoor environment that we were in before, and once you either lose if you're defending, or if you win if you're attacking, you actually move into this subway area here. Now, they're essentially two little smaller maps. Obviously the outdoor area is very big and expansive, long range engagements, whereas this one's far more short range, close quarters sort of combat. Now, it means that all in one match you get different feelings, different experiences that occur, which is something that's always defined the Battlefield series, really. Battlefield Bad Company 2 was always known for its big maps. To get the close-up encounters, you had to kind of move into a building and that sort of thing, but I get the feeling with Battlefield 3 they're going to force those sort of changes of environment on you, so that you have to adapt your playstyle a few times within each match. Because although I never came to it with on either of the clips I've got for you today, if you do progress past this subway section, you actually move to an outdoor section again, which got buildings between everything, so it's a combination of sort of long-range engagements and close quarters engagements. So again, mixes it up again over the two smaller sections you've been through before. So although it's one big map, it splits it up into three sort of smaller sections. Sorry, four smaller sections. So you get this bit, and then there's another bit up the stairs later on as well. So all of this is sort of an improvement, I think, over the last one. Now, I'm going to move on to the negatives now, but I'm not going to dwell on them because I am aware that it's a beta, so a lot of these items probably fixed, but it does seem to be quite buggy. There was a number of instances where I was trying to actually aim down my sights, and for some reason it wouldn't actually do that. I could only hip fire, so I had to stay in cover whilst I tried to sort of sort that out. And the only way I could figure out how to do it was to actually switch to my pistol and switch back to my main gun, and then that sort of remedied the situation. Yeah, there'll probably be something that's fixed. The other thing that I find is that sometimes when you die in Battlefield, you don't get a kill cam, you get a view of the person that killed you, but not from their view. It's just like a floating camera around the person. Now, what I found is that sometimes when you die, you don't actually get that view. It seems to be from underneath the map. Now, whether or not that's people getting out of the map and killing you from outside the map, or whether or not it's just the game glitching, I'm not 100% certain. So I'm not going to dwell on that too much, because it's not really a game spoiler. The not being able to aim down the sights, that could be a game spoiler if it wasn't remedied, because obviously you're at a massive disadvantage if you can't aim down the sights. The other things is that sometimes the game does freeze quite a lot, and it can take quite a while to get a game sometimes. Not sure what's causing those issues, but they are issues out of the way. The other thing I would like to point out is that you can, unlike Call of Duty, with Battlefield 3 you do get a lot more points for actually trying to do the objective, or for playing as a team. So unlike Call of Duty, you don't tend to get very many lone wolves in Battlefield 3, or Battlefield in general. People do tend to play it as a team. For instance, there you'll notice that I'm getting quite a few points just for letting people spawn on me, which is a good thing. You can choose your own spawn points as well, as I'm sure people know. You can spawn on teammates. So now that I've sort of talked about the game and done sort of the Let's Play information there, I'm going to move on to a different topic. Obviously I've been away from YouTube for a while, so I'm going to try and get back to it and make more videos. I just haven't had the time recently, so I am going to get more into it if I can. But what I would like to say is that if anyone has any suggestions, because I would like to try and get a few more Let's Plays going, because I do quite enjoy watching those myself. So if it's something I like to watch, it's something I would like to do myself. So if anyone has any suggestions for what to do for a Let's Play, then I would be greatly appreciative, and I'll have a look into to sorting it out. The other one as well is that I might look into doing a dual commentary at some point with another commentator. It'll probably have to, obviously it'd have to be on a a game that I like. It's not something, doesn't need to be someone I know. If you'd like to do one with me, just give me a private message on YouTube and I'll get back to you. The only thing you need to be able to do one would be, well, preferably I would like you to have your own capture card to be able to capture your footage, because I'd like to do a let's play where you do it from 2 different views, but it's not essential. If you'd like to commentate over just some normal gameplay, that's fine. What you would need to be able to do that is you would need to have Skype and a fairly good audio capture device. It doesn't need to be brilliant. I mean, I'm still just using a webcam here, so, but you would need to have Skype so that we can talk. If you just get in touch with me, I'll try and get that sorted. Yeah, so just get in touch with me if you'd like to do anything together. Maybe we can help grow each other's subscriber base. But other than that, that's the end of the match. The video is going to be coming to a close soon, so I'd appreciate it if you would like, comment, or if you subscribe. And I'll try and get some more videos posted and up soon. Alright guys, I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.